Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Switching gears up a little bit, we have something a little bit different. We have here the Threezero Marvel Studios The Infinity Saga DLX collectible figures of the Iron Man 3 Iron Patriot and the Captain America Civil War Iron Man Mark 46. So I've been very curious about these figures, very interested in how they work. You know, there are some metal parts and everything like that, highly detailed, a lot of paint applications and things like that. So I was very excited to have the opportunity here to show you guys these figures. So big shout out and thank you to Big Bad Toy Store for sending these figures my way. Link in the video description below for these figures. They are available now. So very excited to check these out. So here, let's take a look at the first one. We have the Iron Man 3 Iron Patriot figure. Open it up, you got the window box. You can actually see the figure and the accessories, bunch of hands and everything that he comes with. There's a look at the figure there. Looking at the back of the package, we get kind of all the legalese kind of stuff there. The Captain America Civil War Iron Man Mark 46. Same thing, we got the window packaging. You can see there he's got hands and different things. We have a look at the figure there. Same thing on the back, got all the legalese. So here we go. Again, very excited to check these out. I will do a comparison with the Marvel Legends counterparts so we can see, you know, the differences between the two figures. They are both a 1/12 scale figure. Hasbro and the Threezero figures are going to be scaled a little bit differently, but they are both on the 1/12 scale. But I will show you guys a comparison between the two so you guys could see, you know, if it's something that you guys want to deep dive into, which is something that I was curious about doing. There's an Iron Spider figure coming out pretty soon that I'm going to be really excited to get my hands on that. So anyway, let's go ahead and check these out. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys the tray to see how all the accessories and everything are out there. So Iron Man's got 1, 2, 3, 4 extra sets of hands, so 5 in total. Iron Patriot's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hand sets in total, and then 1 extra hand there as well. He's got the shoulder cannon, so there's some side guns there. He does have some blast effect pieces. He's got the really cool stand to kind of go along with him there. We get an instruction booklet and everything, so pretty cool. Iron Man, same thing. We get the stand and we have the blast effects there. So again, really excited to check these out. So I'm going to take them out of the package and we'll look at all the details and everything because they look really, really good. Okay, so here we have the figures actually out and on the display stand with all of the accessories laid out. These figures are awesome, highly detailed, actually have some pretty good articulation that surprised me quite a bit. So a lot of stuff going on there. The stands are really cool. As you can see, they say Infinity Saga, and then it says like Iron Patriot right on there. It has this cool stand that actually pegs into the back of the figure, so you can actually remove this piece here in the back, and the stand will actually peg right into the back of the figure to make sure that it stays sturdy and stable. You're not going to drop the figure's not going to fall over and become damaged or anything like that, which is an awesome feature to have. Very excited about that. The different hands that we kind of get 2 sets of each of the hands because we got a couple of different things going on. So you have the hands with the open peg hole for the arc reactor or the arc reactor blast. So like here, for instance, you would port that in and you can have like the blast effect on the hand. The other type of hands we have, you can actually see some silver paint in where the arc reactor is, so that's a nice little detail, so you don't have to really like kind of worry about that. So when you're looking at images and things and how you pose it around, if you don't want to peg in one of those blast effect pieces, you can have the arc reactor showing there, and it does have, you know, kind of a glow effect with that silver paint color. So it's nice that they did something like that. So pretty cool. So I'm excited to take a look at these. They do light up, which is nice. So the chest and in the faceplate inside the head, they do light up. They do not come with batteries, so I will need to go and get batteries so I can show you guys that at the end of the video, but I am excited to see how that looks. So let's go ahead and get in for a closer look at the details of these two figures, the Iron Patriot from Iron Man 3 and Iron Man Mark 46 from Captain America Civil War. Okay, so here we have a close-up look at the Iron Patriot figure, and this just looks incredible. Really, really good. Really like the way it looks. Crazy detail in the sculpt work. Like, look at all the lines and everything in the armor. Just came out incredible. The detail of the shoulder cannon and everything just looks really, really good, and it's articulated. You can move it around. Just crazy the detail that is on this guy. So looking at the rest of the figure, the details
are just insane. I mean, just look at how good the sculpt work and the paint work is on this. When we get to the articulation, you guys will be really surprised at how well this guy moves. Keep in mind, it is, you know, a large armor piece, but even for that, it still has a lot of great movement. So now let's take a look at the Iron Man Mark 46 figure, and then this guy, same thing of what you expect with the Iron Patriot, just, you know, a lot of red and gold this time around. But looking at the armor, just look at all the details in this, and then the silver and gold and red paint. You just get that nice shine off of all of it. Just incredibly detailed. I mean, just look at all the details. You just can't get this with like a regular, you know, domestic action figure line. So like the Marvel Legends, you just don't get details like this with that. And I will do the comparison a little bit later after we look at the articulation and things. Just incredible. Just crazy sculpted details and everything. Really, really nice. They do come with some like rocket arm blast pieces. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we could put those on. Okay, so I already placed it on there, and the beautiful thing is you can do poses like this because that shoulder pad can really move. You can kind of see what's going on in the engineering of the figure here, but it's pretty awesome. But looking at that rocket, that arm rocket there, you can actually just swap it out. Really nice details there as well, and it's very easy. It just kind of ports on there. As you can see, it just kind of pegs in, and it holds in place like so, and then to swap it out, you can just pull it out. Then you can get your forearm piece back in there and just plug it in like so. So, pretty awesome there. Now let's take a look at Iron Patriots. Okay, so same thing for Iron Patriot. As you can see there, he's got the arm blaster there. A little bit different design. It's not really a rocket, as you can see. It's just kind of a blaster, so it's nice silver in color there. They are marked R and L, so you know which one goes on the right arm, which gun goes on the left arm, which is really helpful in my distinction, because I grabbed the wrong one initially, so I can make sure to get the right one. So, pretty nice detail there. One really cool thing, because I want to show you guys swapping out the hands, that one of the extra hands that Brody comes with is actually so he can salute. So you can actually get the arm into the position to actually do the salute, excuse me. The reason why I wanted to show you guys is just because we swapping out the hands. So we have the different hands that he comes with. They're all on a ball peg, so you kind of have to use a little bit of force to get them off, to get them on. Getting them off is actually pretty easy. You can just kind of pull down, and you can kind of go there. To get them on, you do got to apply a little bit of pressure to pop them onto that ball. But once you get them on there, then they are nice and secure, and you can get as much movement as you want through there. There's the one with the arc reactor silver paint in there. It's a nice bright color, so that looks pretty good. So swapping out the hands, quite easy. Okay, so you guys, you have to check it. This is one of the coolest things. So with the stand, the design of the stand, you know how it ports into the back, so you can use it as a flight stand. So as you can see, it is supporting the weight of the figure just fine there as it's plugged into the back. So I'm getting Iron Man into a flight pose here, so you can have the hands with the fingers out, so you can have the arc reactor blasts, and then there at the bottom of the feet, let me just remove from the stand, so you can then port in at the bottom of the feet the other blast effects to get Iron Man into a cool flying pose. So that is just really, really cool. So excited for that. Man, the possibilities that you can actually do with these figures and pose them around is actually pretty crazy. Careful of these flames, because they are kind of pokey, as you can see my finger there. So you just want to be a little bit careful with that. So there, so we can see how the blast effects work and everything, and how the flight stand actually really works. Okay, so let's talk about the articulation of these two figures. So all the points of articulation is essentially all going to be kind of the same between these figures. But I do want to kind of go over a couple of things that might be a little bit more specific to each one, such as the Iron Man figure. So actually on the back of this figure, and you kind of have to use like your fingernails to kind of open some of these pieces up, but you actually have some moving parts here in the back. And trying to get my fingernail. Oh, there we go. Oh, I guess that works. Kind of push back on that hinge there, and it kind of opens it up a little bit. So you actually get some moving parts there in the back. So if you're in the flight stand, you can kind of get him to kind of stop, right? Then you have this piece here in the chest. It actually moves a little bit, and that's to allow some movement in the arm. So as you can see, it kind of popped out there, so it allows for better movement, so it's not going to rub up against and knock and hit things and scratch things and stuff like that. So that's actually really cool that we have that feature there. So I'm really glad that we can do that, and it kind of, you know, moves around in certain ways. The hip pieces, I guess not so much on Iron Man because of the design of it, but like here on Iron Patriot, when you move like the thigh piece, you actually get this hip piece that moves out. So again, it's not going to destroy the figure or anything like that, and it allows for the movement freely in the figure. So that is also a nice touch. So going over the articulation, you know, the neck is on a separate piece. So you can actually get the head and the neck to look up, straight up, which is good. You can allow it to look down, which is nice. You get a rotation in there. You get some good pivot going on in the neck and everything. Diaphragm on Iron Man, he allows him to tilt to the left this much. Keep in mind it is a person in a metal suit, so how much could they possibly move around? So we get that there. There is some swivel there at that very top diaphragm there. The tilt is actually in the secondary portion that's right in there. So the swivel is at that top. The tilt is in that middle portion there. You can't really get the torso itself to crunch back, but you can crunch forward that much. And again, it is a person in a suit, so actually all the way total there between the two different positions, which is quite nice. And again, you have that swivel up at the top. The shoulder pads can kind of really move out, so you can allow for better motion there. So you can do that to get the arm to go straight on out. You could do a full rotation in there if you would like. There is a little bit of a butterfly, as you can see there. There is a bicep swivel, but I will be honest with you, it is a little bit more difficult to get to spin. You really have to have it kind of in a down position so you can really get the grip and the force to be able to do that. But it does have that bicep swivel a little bit there. You do have double jointed elbows, which are nice. And again, the wrists are on a ball joint, so you can move around freely there. The legs, you can't get the legs to go out that far apart. They are a little snug. So at first I didn't think they could move, and I was like, oh, I'm scared to force it like I'm going to break something. You do got to apply a little bit of force to be able to kind of split there. But once you do it, you can get it to move. You can get the arm to go out. The leg to go out that much. The leg goes back that much. You do have the upper thigh swivel in there. Double jointed knee, which looks really nice, as you can see there. The foot, you do get a little bit of hinge down, and then you have these moving parts to kind of move with the foot to allow it. So once you have the foot closed down, it looks like a normal foot, but then when you move it around, those pieces there allow for the movement, and you do have a little bit of toe articulation in there as well. There's some ankle pivot, not a lot, but you do get some, and it does hinge upwards a little bit there. So pretty good articulation on Iron Man. And then you can move those shoulder pads back there. The shoulder pads do come off. There is a little bit of a clip. So like here on Iron Patriot, I kept popping them off. But they do clip on and off. And everything there. So just like Iron Man, Iron Patriot's got the same neck articulation there. The torso, we do get a little bit of tilt on Iron Patriot. It's not as much. If anything, it's actually going to be a little bit less. He is a little bit bulkier, so it doesn't allow for as much movement, but you can move some. Crunching forward is going to be that much there. Again, he's not really going to go back because it's not truly designed to do that. Legs do go out apart. This thigh piece there actually comes out to allow for better motion coming forward as well. So you can actually kick forward without having damage to that thigh piece. So that is another great thing there. You got that thigh swivel in there, double jointed knee. Foot, you get the same points of articulation there. You get a little bit more downward motion, a little bit some better ankle pivot as well, and then you do have the toe hinge, and we do have pegals at the bottom again for those blast effects, of course. The same with the shoulders. We have the same situation going on there. You get the butterfly coming forward. You can get the arm to go out. You move the shoulder around, and you can adjust it, and you get the arm to go out there. The swivel on that bicep is the same situation. You want to keep it close to the figure so you can move it freely. Double jointed elbow there as well. Wrists have the ball joint, so you get the free movement there. And then the shoulder cannon does have several points of articulation as well. So really good movement on these things. And these are like high quality figures. These remind me of like mini Hot Toys. If you guys have a Hot Toy, you guys know what I'm talking about. You know, extremely detailed, a lot of moving parts and things going on with them. It can be very delicate and everything, but we get that in a smaller version, which is actually really, really nice. So now let's go ahead and get on to the comparisons between the Threezero DLX figures and the Hasbro Marvel Legends figures. Okay, so here we have the two figures side by side, so you can see that the Threezero DLX figures are actually a little bit taller than the Hasbro Marvel Legends figures. So you can see that, but you can see the difference in kind of the paint color. In order for Hasbro to always do like some kind of shiny looking armor or anything, they use like a metallic paint or metallic base plastic, which does give it a little bit of shine, sure, but it can end up looking a little bit more metallic than it really should be. Like the armor in the movie was not metallic; it was just, you know, a bright blue, which we have here with the Threezero figure. We get a true deep red, whereas here it ends up looking a little pink because again they go for like the metallic color. We just get so much more details in terms of the sculpt work and everything in the armor, which is quite nice. So you can see there, just really good. There, the articulation also beats out the Marvel Legends. You know, we get movement in the torso and everything, but it's very limited. Like you get some tilt to the side, but you can move back, which would be the only benefit. But you know, in a suit of armor, can he really lean back? You couldn't even crunch this forward. We get a much more detailed shoulder cannon, as you can see there. Just the details of it look so much better, and it's just going to display a whole lot nicer. And again, you know, I compare like the Threezero to like a mini Hot Toys figure there. So Marvel Legends a little undersized as well. You know, think of a person in a suit, you know, compared to other figures, you know, it should be a little bit larger, and that's, you know, kind of what we get here with the DLX figure. So big difference between the two, much more details here in the Threezero figure. Okay, so the side-by-side of the Iron Man Mark 46. This one, Hasbro released several times, actually, the Mark 46. Like 4 times or whatever it was. This is the most recent Infinity Saga version. It's got pins, kind of like the Iron Patriot one did, but especially that one, you know, was much older there. So looking at the red, it's kind of a flattish red. You know, they went with a deeper color, which was good, but looking at the Threezero, we get that deep red, which is also in a metallic-ish color. It's got a very nice shine to it, which really stands out. We get a whole lot more gold paint details throughout this figure, and then the gold and the silver kind of almost blends in a little bit here in the torso, whereas we get a clear definition between them on the Threezero figure. You know, the Marvel Legends has a dark gray, a dark silver. We get a much brighter chromed out looking silver on the Threezero, and again we get more paint details like here on the foot, here on the leg, and then the hip piece is actually silver, and it's not here on the Marvel Legends, even though it should be. One of them did have silver, but this particular version didn't, so we're just not, you know, very consistent throughout. Looking at the back of the figure, we get all the paint details on the Threezero. We just don't get them on the Marvel Legends at all, so huge difference. Size wise, these are a little bit closer in size compared to like the Iron Patriot figures, whereas that Iron Patriot one was just really undersized even at the time, but these two a little bit closer. The hips and the legs on this one they're very weird, and I don't like it. You know, obviously we have a very proportionate, actually, you know, looks like a person, a human being's hips and legs and everything like that. And again, really reminds me that there's a person inside of a suit of armor here, and that really comes through here, whereas on the Iron Man figure, it kind of doesn't. And seeing them side by side, end up looking, the hips being really weird, the arms being quite large compared to the body, just not nearly as proportionate, so which is, you know, too bad. But the Threezero DLX figure, really nice in terms of sculpt, size, proportion, paint details, and everything like that. It's something we just can't get like in a Hasbro figure. Okay, so I put the batteries in, and here we have lit up. So you can see the arc reactor is a little bit brighter than the way the eye lenses look, but that's kind of the design of how the battery compartments are in there. So that is pretty good. To turn them on and off, you actually have to take apart. You have to pop the top of the head off and push the button, and then here underneath you actually separate the torso, upper torso, So it just pulls right off, as you can see there, and the battery compartment is in there. So it's scary to do that, but it can be done in there. So there is the battery operation for the Iron Man Mark 46. Okay, so here is the Iron Patriot. As you can see, the eyes light up quite nice. But in the arc reactor, it's not nearly as bright, unfortunately. And the way the position of the bulb, I wish it was down a little bit lower. Unfortunately, it's not. But one cool thing that you actually have about it, if you press actually at that arc reactor, you can actually turn it on and off, which is actually a really nice feature. So that is pretty good. I just wish it was a little bit brighter, which is a little unfortunate. But still, the light up feature is quite nice and does really have that menacing look for the eyes.
Okay, so that is a review of the Threezero DLX, the Infinity Saga Marvel Cinematic Universe figures of the Iron Man 3 Iron Patriot and the Captain America Civil War Iron Man Mark 46. As you can see, you can really pose these figures around much more than I had even really thought. As you can see here, like this thigh piece on this Iron Man figure could really move up, so you can kind of really get into like the superhero landing pose and things like that with these figures. So a whole lot of articulation in places that you just really wouldn't think. You know, when you have the high-end collectible figures, they tend to not have as many of those points of articulation, whereas these figures can actually really move around. We got a ton of hands, we got blast effects, we got an awesome flight stand, all kinds of good things going on here. So you guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of these Threezero DLX figures? What do you think of the Iron Patriot? What do you think of the Iron Man Mark 46? Do you have these in your collection? You're looking to add them? Link in the video description below to Big Bad Toy Store. They are in stock now. The Iron Spider figure is coming out pretty soon. I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm curious if you guys have all of the Threezero DLX figures, all the Iron Man figures, because they're looking pretty awesome. And I'm looking at that Mark V that should be coming out soon and wondering if I should add that to my collection as well. But you guys let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.